Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is another movie review. So maybe last week or for 2 weeks, I've been watching Netflix movies. And I did see Mea Culpa by leading character Kelly Rowland. And this is a spoiler alert. I'm going to talk about the movie in detail. So if that's not your thing, now's the time to exit. I was very impressed with Kelly's performance. Very impressed. When she wasn't making songs, she was taking acting lessons. You hear me? Very believable. And she is a gorgeous woman. Gorgeous. I'm not a big fan of all of the long flowing weave. I'm just not. Because you just look like everybody else. I don't care if it's wavy, curly, but you know, the hair was down the back and all of that foolishness. Kelly's natural hair is cut in a bob about this short. She has a really oval face. She's just a gorgeous woman, whether she has on makeup or not. She's just gorgeous. And so she has a little straight bob. I liked it so much on her that I even, put a couple of middle part bobs in my Amazon shopping cart in my Amazon cart because I just love it. And I used to wear my hair parted down the middle, and my hair was like down to here. So I used to wear my hair parted down the middle and just like a little bit of a soft, they call it a beach wave now, and just beach wave it. So at night I would part it down the middle and just, twist the two sides sections, just twist it around each other, and twist it around each other like a Bantu knot. Yes, it was a Bantu knot. It had two Bantu knots, and that's when I was wearing my hair. I had a relaxer at that time, a little soft relaxer. I forgot what she called it, but I was wearing my hair relaxed at that time. But so that reminded me of that. And so I used to just part it down the middle and have this soft beach wave going on. And so when I saw that bob on Kelly, and I think when she first presented the bob to us on TikTok, it was a natural, dark brown, black, her natural color hair. But then I saw her on one of these Shannon Bodie's sex channel or whatever. She had it looked like it had been colored, like some kind of brownish color, like almost like my complexion in color on her. And it looked good. She had a hat on. So this movie's about a woman who doesn't have any daggone boundaries, okay? She has no boundaries whatsoever. Her mother-in-law talks to her like she's a dog. Her brother-in-law talks to her like a dog. And she and her best friend are married to brothers. Now, the interesting thing is that these boys or these men appear to be mixed race. In reality, they look like they might be Dominican, Puerto Rican, and maybe mixed with some black. But that's what they look like. I'm from New York City, so that's why I chose those groups. Dominican, Puerto Rican, maybe Colombian. And so that's what these guys look like. And Kelly and her best friend, they're brown, dark brown or dark skinned women. I don't know what you would call them, but I don't know if Kelly Rowland is really my complexion or darker. I'm not really sure because, lighting and all that stuff. So anyway. But it looks like she and a girlfriend are the same complexion. And so these dudes, they're brothers. They're looking like they're mixed with something, and their mother looks white. So maybe their dad is black in this picture. And so why am I bringing it up? Because it all, to me, comes together in terms of sometimes, not all the time. This is generalities now, so don't come for me. Generalities are that sometimes dark women or brown women, these guys think that we are so desperate for their approval and to be in relationship with them based on how they look. So, these two women just have no boundaries. And that's what the movie is about. What happens when you don't have any boundaries? And the plot twists and thickens, but basically, these two women don't have any boundaries. And they feel like they have to, Kelly's character, Mia, feels like she has to protect her husband's image for the realities of her marriage and her husband losing his job and being a drug addict from his family. She feels obligated to protect that secret while he's off gallivanting, playing video games with one of his childhood high school sweethearts that his mother has reconnected with and brought her into his life. So Mia is protecting the secret that her husband has lost his anesthesiologist job and he is now in drug rehab. She feels obligated to protect that from his family, not let his family know about it, while he spends his time going to rehab, coming home, playing video games with his childhood sweetheart. And she puts up with that SHIT. So this woman doesn't have any boundaries. Her girlfriend, who's married to her brother-in-law, doesn't have any boundaries. And they both end up sleeping with the same artist who has managed to manipulate them out of their drawers. Because they feel so bad about themselves and their marriage that they're willing to sleep with some dude who has, some charisma and some charm. Which goes into the fact that they have no boundaries. Because if you had some boundaries, you would know to keep your legs closed and eat and deal with your marriage and tell this man's family what's going on. But it wouldn't have mattered because the mother-in-law treats her like crap, talks to her like a dog. And then the sister-in-law, her best friend, is speechless. And for the life of me, I can't understand why anybody would even put up with that kind of behavior when you got a high-paying job and you're one of the best criminal lawyer defense attorneys in the city. And your girlfriend is a stay-at-home mom. I don't think she's a stay-at-home mom. She just stays at home. And there's nothing wrong with just staying at home, but she's not even staying, taking care of children. And I'm not even sure the dude is even, providing her with any income. He's providing a home for her to stay. And it's just a mess. It's a mess. But I think I won't tell you the plot twist, but it's another movie to look at in terms of what happens when you have no boundaries, when you have low self-esteem. And she met her husband when they were in high school, or they grew up together, they got married, they struggled together, maybe, went to college. And I don't know what you have to do to be an anesthesiologist, but she obviously went to college and law school to be a criminal attorney and defense attorney, and she's good at what she does. Meanwhile, you're married to a pothead or a drug head who has lost his job, and you're trying to keep a secret from his family. For what? But it also ends up being, what do you call it? A cautionary tale about how we get caught up in making our relationships work without that person, the other party, man or woman, not pulling their weight. To save or salvage a relationship, marriage, or, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, or a mated relationship, both parties have to pull their weight. Both parties have to want the relationship to work. If it's one-sided, it would be like this. One person over here doesn't care. They could take it or leave it. They're there to get what they can with the least amount of effort. And the person that's leaning in over here really wants it. And the distance between them and that person is very, very short. And they're willing to do almost anything to keep it, to keep up appearances, to not have to move out, to not have to create a life for themselves that's separate and apart from their partner, their husband. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to save yourself? What are you willing to do to save yourself, to create boundaries, to have people respect you? And if you're a feminine woman, what are you willing to do to have your feelings cherished? Mia wasn't in her feminine energy, even as a high-powered criminal defense attorney. You know, she carried herself like with a lady with class. She didn't do a lot of raising of her voice and everything like that. But she didn't stick up for herself. She didn't stick up for herself in a feminine way without a lot of back and forth talking. You know, she was always talking with him about this and talking with him about that. You already know I'm at a point where, you know, I'll talk with you 3 times about the same thing. But that 4th time, my mother used to say, I'll show you better than I can tell you. And that's what I would be doing. And I have kind of like lived my life that way. It's like I can show you better than I can tell you, because I get tired. Especially when it's getting nowhere and we're just going around the mulberry bush talking about the same thing, and the behavior isn't changing. That means I have to do something different. Not talk, do something different. So yeah, I can show you better than I can tell you. Thanks for listening. And I will be going live April 21, 2024. That's a Sunday. Let me know what time I should do it. Also, if you need help with dating, again, I have a free dating guide. Email me at thehypergamous.journey.com at Gmail. And check out the Affirmation Journals on Amazon. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.